pentatonic scale. We named the sound, we named the tones in the scale, and now let's connect that to your fingers so your ear can lead and you can play by ear intuitively. In this video, we're gonna map the pentatonic notes to the piano keyboard. We're gonna also map it to the guitar fretboard. Even though I don't play, I got a little graphic here for you that you can follow. And then we're gonna play by ear a couple phrases from the song Amazing Grace. And we're gonna do it in one key, then a second key, and a third key so that your ear really gets that leadership role. We're gonna end with a little short taste of pre-hearing where I sing a little bit in solfege and then we play it back on our instruments. That's gonna make this whole thing very, very practical, and it's gonna get you ready to improvise and play by ear. I'm Hans at tuneindigo.com. Let's get started. Pentatonic tones on the piano keyboard. We're going to do this in 3 different keys, remembering that do can be any note. Do can be C. Do can be E flat. It can be any note. It can be do. We'll start with the key of C, all white notes on the piano, and remembering that the pentatonic scale has do, re, mi, sol, la, and do, leaving out fa and ti, right? So we've got do, re, mi, sol, la, do. And on the piano, you can really just imagine you're playing the major scale, all white note scale, minus these 2 guys that sort of surround a black note group of 3 keys. So with the F and the B out, the fa and the T are out, we can imagine and reach into our feeling experience, our sensory proprioceptive experience, and find do, re, mi, sol, la, do. So that's the pentatonic scale on C on the piano keyboard. Here's the pentatonic scale on E flat, where E flat is do, F is re, G is mi, B flat is sol, and C is la, and E flat is that higher do. So I like to think and reach into my proprioceptive feeling experience and feel these 2 tones. Each one is the top note of a black group. And then their white note upper neighbors. Now let's jump to a really easy one on the piano keyboard. Here's the F sharp pentatonic scale, where F sharp is do, and all the notes are black notes. In fact, since there are 5 black notes on the piano keyboard, that constitutes the F sharp pentatonic scale. In other words, if you just play black notes on the piano keyboard, you get the pentatonic scale. That's why you can go to the piano and just play black notes and automatically you're playing the pentatonic scale. Let's jump to the guitar fretboard. For the sake of the guitar, let's look at E pentatonic. Right? You probably know that shape if you're a guitar player. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. Then we can go to the G pentatonic scale, where G is do, and we can go like this. Do, re, mi, sol, la, do. And you probably know that shape too. You might also know the shape that starts with this as the home note, right? This la, do, re, mi, sol, la. That's the pentatonic scale mapped to those 2 instruments. Now, let's go straight into playing a little bit of Amazing Grace, and then we'll connect it to the instrument. For the sake of this explanation, let's just pretend that you know Amazing Grace and can sing it in solfege. That is the sort of starting point for applying to the instrument. So we're going to think like this. So, do, mi, re, do, la, so. So, do, mi, re, re, sol. That's plenty to work with right now. Okay, so grab your instrument, grab your guitar, grab your keyboard, and follow along. You can watch, but really, remember, we're training our ear. I'm giving you these visuals so that you can understand what I'm doing. So knowing how it goes and having that map, that solfege map in my mind, I can apply that to any key and play it on the first try in that new key because I've got that solfege map in my mind and I know how it maps to the scale. We've got it in solfege. So, do, mi, re, do, la, so. So, do, mi, re, so. That's plenty to work with. And then in my mind, I pick a key. I get the map sort of activated in my mind, all the way down to so, where it starts. And I really think each note and I hear each note before I play it. So, do, mi, re, do, la, so. So, do, mi, re, so. So I hear each note in my mind before I play it. And the better at this you get, the shorter that little interval between pre-hearing and playing happens. So I'll make that interval a little bit, or that time a little bit longer. So, do, mi, re, do, la, so. So, do, mi, re, so. So now I've played that in E flat. Let's move do to F sharp, and we can play it on all black notes. And we can sing the same thing, but now I'm going to imagine F sharp here is do. There's re, there's mi, there's so, there's la, and of course we have la and so down here. And so I orient myself, I imagine here's do, here's mi, here's so, and here's re, and here's la. Here's the lower so. And now, one note at a time, we can sing and play like this. So, do, mi, re, do, la, so. So, do, mi, re, so. Pentatonic Prehearing. This will be just a little taste of practicing improvising a melody while pre-hearing it. Let's jump into the key of E, where E is do, do. F sharp is re. That one is mi. Here's so, la, do. Guitar-friendly key, and it's a keyboard-friendly key too, because think about it this way. Here's do, here's E. It's the white note right next to two black notes. Here's B, so. It's the white note right next to three black notes. And then we have each of their upper neighbors, that's a black note, and a third note, this mi. Pentatonic Prehearing works like this. I'll sing a little bit in solfege, and let's play it back. So we're skipping the part where you hear a sound and you turn it into solfege. Now we're just taking solfege and putting it straight onto the instrument. So let's do this. I'll sing a note, and then I'll play a note. I'll sing a note, and then I'll play a note, okay? And then you can do the same thing, remembering that that is do. Here's do. I'm not going to sing that low. Here's do, okay? We'll do one note, then we'll do two notes at a time. We want to really focus on hearing it and then playing it. which is why we can incorporate our rhythm and do it like this. Do, re, mi, do, la, so, do, so, mi, re, do. Let's do two notes. It'll go like this. Sing, sing, play, play, etc. But I'll sing again in solfege because we're skipping that part where we translate to solfege. We're going straight from solfege to the instrument. Here we go. Do, re, mi, re, do, la, la, so, so, do, mi, do, re, so, mi, do. How'd that go? Are you able to hold the map of a given key and compare it to the pentatonic scale? Of course, there's a skill that I haven't mentioned, which is that you really need to know your major and minor scales to do this. But you can pick a couple scales that you know, take out fa and ti, and then you've got the pentatonic scale right there for you. In the next video, we're going to level up with some pentatonic sight singing in a call and response way. We'll be reading off staff notation because many people are ready for that, but we'll also have the solfege as lyrics printed below so that everyone can read and sight sing. Don't forget to visit tuneintogolearning.com where I've got a course and resources so that you can continue to get deeper into this kind of thing, learning to play by ear, imagining solfege, sight singing, and creating and improvising your own music. Thanks a lot for listening.